Hi, my name is Susan and a huge welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, I want to talk to you about pencils. Pencil is one of my all-time favourite materials to sketch with. Easy to use, convenient, affordable, and so versatile. If I was just to choose one thing to sketch with or recommend to a beginner where to start with sketching, it would be the humble pencil. In terms of using these awesome materials, I don't go anywhere without a sketchbook and a pencil. This is tucked into a pocket, a bag, or a coat, and comes with me wherever I end up going. Not to mention the ones left around in all the rooms of my home. Pencils are also the material I go to when I'm not sure exactly what to sketch. I can always find something to do with a pencil, whether it's simply mark making, doodling, jotting down notes, or drawing an object that happens to sit in front of me. Throughout my YouTube channel, you will see me use pencil many times over. But today, now that I've told you about how much I love these little guys, I wanted to share with you some of my favourite brands and flavours, but please don't eat them. So let's geek out on graphite. Okay, so the first pencils that I want to show you are my absolute all-time favourite pencils are the Blackwing palomino pencils, and I have these in 2 or 3 different flavours here, but my absolute favourites are the matte ones, as you can tell by the fact that these ones are getting shorter and shorter and stubbier and stubbier. These are very soft pencils and I normally buy them in a box of around 12. They're not the cheapest pencils, but for me, I absolutely find them worth it. So the matte ones, which are the ones that will say matte on them, they're usually black in their casing, and I do have one here that was a collaboration with Moleskine that are also the matte ones, are super soft pencils that I just love to sketch with. You can get very fine detailed lines, but you get that lovely dark bold line when you press a bit firmer. So for me, these are always my number one go-to pencils. And their 602, which is actually their firm pencil, is just a little bit harder, so it won't create quite as deep a line. So when I am doing slightly more refined drawings where I need a slightly harder pencil, I will move to the Blackwing 602, which is usually this grey coloured barrel. So these are my absolute all-time favourite pencils, and there will always be one of these in a pocket, in a pencil case, coming out and about with me wherever I happen to be sketching. Now, my second type of pencil that I will always have one in my pencil case and out and about with me is a mechanical pencil. And I've got a range of them here that I use most regularly. Now, my sort of oldest ones are these ones here, and these are the Pentel Twist Erase pencils in a 0.7. And I've actually got 2 different pencil colours in here. So I have one where I put in a blue lead just for something a little bit different, and one that has a soft 2B lead in it. So I tend to buy these little packets of leads. So when I'm out and about sketching, these mechanical pencils are usually one of the first that I'll grab. They've also got a little rubber at the end, which is super convenient. So this paired with a sketchbook is absolutely all I need. I also have one that is a slightly thinner one, and this is a Rotring pen, and this is a 0.5, so it's a slightly thinner line. Again, if I want a more detailed pencil mark, I will choose this. And then I did invest in a really expensive mechanical pencil not that long ago from a company called Tom Studio, and this pencil is just beautiful. It's heavy in the hand, it's slightly weighted towards this end. And when I just want to luxuriate in the art of drawing in pencil, this is the pencil that I select. So this really is a very expensive but very beautifully made pencil that you can purchase in the UK. It's a small company based down in Dorset in Bournemouth. I love all their pens and pencils, but they are quite the investment, but absolutely wonderful pieces of kit that will last you for years and years and years. So I want to move on now to just talking about regular artist pencils, and this is really any brand. I just happen to have the Derwent graphic pencil here, and this one's an Artist Loft. But I will always have a 2B and an H pencil in my artillery ready for sketching. Now, the 2B pencil, very much like the soft matte Blackwing pencil, will give me a lovely contrast between very fine, precise lines, again, when it's sharpened, to lovely deep lines. And I always have an H pencil of some description to be able to do very fine drawing if I'm going over with something like watercolour. Using soft and hard pencils in combination is really important. So anything with an H in it is what's called a hard pencil. So it will give you a fine, hard or light line. Anything with a B in it stands for sort of black, or I always think bold. It's a softer pencil. More graphite comes out, a darker line, softer line. These softer pencils smudge. These harder pencils, not quite so much, there's less graphite. So the range of pencils that you select to use will really influence the kind of line that you get. And also, depending on what style of sketching you want to do, will depend on which pencil you select. But I will always have a hard pencil around. Sometimes if you commit too much, too hard in a soft pencil, you can't lift that back up again. Whereas if you use your hard pencil for getting your light lines, getting your shape, making your foundations in your sketch, you can then start to work those darker tones after. So I'll always make sure I have a 2B and an H. If I had to choose a couple of pencils, those would be the ones I would choose for general, regular sketching. Okay, so for the next pencil, I wanted to share with you a little bit of a curveball, a little bit of something different and special. And this is a Kaweko Sport graphite pencil. Again, it's technically a mechanical pencil that has a really thick, soft, bold lead that you place in here. So this is really good for dark, detailed sketching. And I just really like the stubby nature of the pencil. I do like a different pencil that I can play with. So this doesn't give me the fine, detailed lines of some of the things like the mechanical pencils with their very sharp pointy tips. And again, a very well sharpened pencil like this will have a very sharp point, but it just gives a really lovely soft, dark, thick line for playing with. So I do like this one. It comes about with me quite a lot. Now for my final pencil recommendation, I'm going to go with something that I've added to my pencil cases a little more recently, and these are the Faber Castel graphite aquarelle pencils. Essentially, they are water-soluble pencils, which I have absolutely fallen in love with. And essentially, these are pencils, so you can use them as, you know, basic pencils for drawing, for making marks. But what they do have is the ability, like a watercolor pencil, when you add a little water to it, so let me just do that for you, it turns into a liquid graphite. So it turns into almost like a paint. So again, if you have limited resources and you want to be out and about sketching, but love the ability to add a bit of water on very simply with a paintbrush, these pencils will give you that fabulous ability to move the graphite across the page. Really, really, really fun. And they come in a range of softnesses, so you can have a really wonderful play with the marks that you make. And I absolutely adore these graphite pencils. Now finally, I just wanted to introduce two other things that go hand in hand with my pencils that I could not live without. And this is my Blackwing 2-stage pencil sharpener. This one I absolutely love because it gives a really long point to a pencil that you can't get with a regular sharpener. These aren't the cheapest pencil sharpeners, but I think this is an investment. I've used this over and over and over again, and I absolutely love it. And the other little thing I couldn't do without is this little mechanical rubber. And this little rubber works a little bit like a pencil that you can rub out really fine details with it. So it's super, super tiny, but I love it for being able to rub out tiny details on a drawing that I'm working on. This rubber is just absolutely one of my favorite for adding in to my tools and materials. So absolutely, these two items here go hand in hand with this wonderful range of pencils that I own and I love. So this was just a small selection of the pencils I have in my collection. The ones I've shown today are just the ones I happen to use the most often and are the ones likely to end up in my pencil cases for when I'm out and about sketching. The main thing when we're talking about pencils and recommendations is to choose ones that work for you, your budget and your style. So now I've shown you my favourite pencils, why not go start using them? Do check out my recent video, 3 easy pencil drawing exercises for your sketchbook. Happy sketching everyone, and I'll see you soon.